how to start a clothing brand with only $200. What's up? My name is Truth on the Way. I am a clothing brand owner. I've had my brand for about 2 years now, and I've definitely made a lot of mistakes and did a lot of good things along my whole journey. So I will be helping you learn from my mistakes so we all can have the best brands in the world. So this is how to start a clothing brand with $200. We're gonna get straight into it. Let's go.
Pretty girls from Miami already. Put your heart in my hands, it's heavy. I can't kick it like Leonard Messi. Fell in love with this girl, she gon' text.
So realistically, right? In order to start a business, in order to make money, you have to spend money, right? And in the process of spending money, as you know, most clothing brand owners, we don't have that much to start off with. Like, you may have only a few $100s. So I'm gonna tell you guys the best method on how to have the most effective brand with a little amount of money. So the first thing I would recommend you do, write out all of your expenses that you need to spend in order to make your clothing brand happen. So first, you need samples. Obviously, you need samples. Two, you need a website. 3, you need marketing. You need to market. If you're going to do paid advertised marketing, then you need to put aside some money for that. 4, shipping and packaging. 5, really, the bulk order, or the order, like, you know, the manufacturers and stuff like that. So really, those are really the only 5 things that you need to pay attention to. So I would first recommend, before you spend any money, set up the foundation first. Foundation is your Instagram accounts, your TikTok account, your brand logo, which is easy. You can make a brand logo on Canva Pro or Canva for it's basically free. You can make a free logo on Canva or Fiverr. Get your logo right. Make your first sample. Make your first mock-up. Get all that in check. And really just set up the basics. Like, you don't need to buy a huge bulk order. You haven't even done any marketing yet. That's just a waste of money and a waste of your time, honestly, because now you're just sitting on a whole bunch of inventory that you can't sell because you have nobody to sell it to. So, like I said, get your social medias running up. Get your brand social medias running good. Get your marketing in order. Get your logos. Get your mock-ups, etc., etc. Now that you have all the basics, the bare minimum out the way, then we can start with the $200 that we have to spend. So, website. We obviously need a website. You can go on Wix, Shopify, or there's this other website. I forget what it's called. I think it's called it's not coming to me right now, but it's another website where basically it's an AI website, so they make it for you. All you have to do is describe what type of website you want, and they'll immediately make it. It'll come back to me, but yes. So get your website. So Wix and Shopify. Shopify, I'm sure you've heard about Shopify before. You get like a free 3 months where you can do, it's like $1 a month for 3 months, where that's plenty of time to get your mock-ups, get your first sales, get your first few sales. Then when the 3 months is over, then you start paying, I think it's like $30 or $40 a month. But with that 3 months, that gives you plenty of time to set yourself up to be able to pay that $30, $40 a month. But don't automatically buy the website first, because with me, I did the 3-month trial, and I ended up still not making as much, or not making enough to be able to say, okay, I'll pay the $40 a month and it's really not going to hurt me. So use these 3 months wisely. Make sure that you plan every drop out. Make sure you plan everything out. So first, you create your website on Shopify. Like I said, free. It's a 3 free day trial, and then it's like free. I think it's like $1 a month for 3 months. So you do that. Get your website made. Boom. Now you have your website made. So now what you're gonna want to do is, if you haven't already, make your mock-up. You need to sell something. You can't just sell somebody a piece of clothing that they've never seen before. You have to have a design to where people can say, okay, I'll consider this. It might look better in person, or I couldn't wait to see this in person. Those 2 options, right? Get your mock-up made. You can make your mock-up for free on, you can make your mock-up for free on Photopea or Photopea. And then you can also make it on Canva as well. I would highly suggest to get a Canva Pro account. That's what I use, and I can make a lot of good designs on there, as you can see by my clothing brand and by the designs I put up on the screen right here. But you can easily get your mock-ups from thebrandbible.us. They have free mock-ups, free vectors, anything for your disposal. So I'm gonna put that link right here or in the comments, or I'm gonna put it in the comments. So yes, so now that you have your mock-up and your website ready, now you have to focus. Mind you, we still only spending like this. We only spent like $190, maybe, if that. So now here's where the money starts to come into play. You need a sample. So now, if you haven't found a manufacturer, I suggest that you find one either on Alibaba or Instagram. Make sure if it's on Instagram, it's a trustworthy Instagram manufacturer. Because a lot of times people be on Instagram, or manufacturers be on Instagram looking for fresh brand owners to like scam, basically. So if you're interested in my manufacturers, let's have a list of 15. It's $10. You could just DM me right there for me. They're all verified, so it saves you the time. So if you were to buy that, that's now you have $180 left to spend. So we're still doing relatively good. So now that you have that out the way, find your manufacturer. And you're going to be texting them on WhatsApp, I would assume. That's where everybody else texts their manufacturers. So you text them on WhatsApp. You send him the picture or the PNG of your mock-up. You either email it to him or you send it to him. You converse. They might try to give you a high price for it, but I have a video on how to talk to manufacturers. I'll link it in the description as well. But essentially, you can lowball. Like, you got to understand, this is still a business transaction. Like, this is not just you give somebody your money and they give it back to you. Like, this is a literal business transaction. So with that being said, you have to be cautious of how much you're spending and how much the other person is charging. You still have a say in this. You can negotiate. Like, if they say, okay, your mock-up for a t-shirt is going to be $200, or your sample for a t-shirt is going to be $200. You don't have to spend that $200. You could say, okay, that's a little bit out of my price range. That's a little bit higher than most manufacturers have given me. Why don't we do $140 or $150? Then they may negotiate with you. They may settle for $150. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with whatever price that you give them, because one, they're still a business too, so they want to get the sale as well. So with that being said, use your leverage to your advantage. Use leverage to your advantage. You don't want to just be sending a random person all the way across seas money just because they said that's the price. You can gamble a little bit. Be smart. So now that you have your sample, you probably spend, I say, $100, maybe somewhere between $100 and $120, depending on if it's a shirt or a hoodie. So now that you purchase your sample, mind you, do not give them all the money up front. Make sure you split payments. You spend maybe 30 here, 30 there, and then the last 40 someplace else. You see what I'm saying? Split your payments. Always split your payments. If y'all haven't noticed, split your payment. Now that we have our website made, our mock-ups made, our sample is in hand. Our sample is in hand, and we have our Instagram accounts running up. The last thing that we need to do, we only spent like $140, $140 for real. So now we have $60 to our disposal. Do not be dumb with this. Don't go out buying candy and shoes because you thinking that your business is just set up. No. What you want to do with this $60 is, first, before you even start to think about spending it, decide what type of brand are you going to be. Are you going to be a pre-order brand, or are you going to be a pre-made brand? Now, for those that don't know, pre-order is where customers purchase the products and you don't have the product with you. You just have the manufacturer make them as they purchase it. So if you have a MOQ of 50 and 50 people buy that product, it's gonna, you don't have the product with you. You just get their money, use the money that they give you, pay the manufacturer, they send you the product, and then you send it out to those people that bought. Simple as that. But pre-made is where you just get the money, or you get your own money or your own business money, spend money for the bulk order, and normally it's around, depending on how much you buy, it's around between $700 and $1,000. So you use that money to buy the bulk order, get it in hand, and then you just have a whole bunch of products sitting on hand where people can just buy from your website, etc., etc. There are some pros and cons to it. If y'all haven't seen already, y'all can watch my video. I made a video about that. But yes, so when you decided on what type of brand you're going to be, if it's pre-order, then easily this is where that last $60 come into play, and this is the most important $60 you're ever gonna have in your life. So what I would highly recommend is that you do influencer marketing. I know $60 isn't a lot, so it's not like you're gonna be able to get Quan. It's not like you're gonna be able to get some of the higher end influencers. But I'm sure you know some fashion TikTokers. I'm sure you know some small influencers, some small brand owners, or some small brand some small brand ambassadors that's willing to, take a few pictures in it, promote it on their story, whatever it is. Like, I'm sure you know some people in that. If you don't, then look on Instagram and start finding. Go on TikTok and start looking. But you can go them, DM them, be like, hey, I have this product, I'm interested, I was interested and I wanted you to promote it. Would you be interested in doing that? Be like, yeah, sure. If they don't recommend a price, if they don't tell you a price, then that's perfect. You can still slide them something on the side, because not only does that create good business relationships, that also shows that you are trustworthy and not a stingy type person, because they're doing you a service. Give them, you feel me? Slide them a few dollars too. Now that we have that out the way, you want to do at least a minimum of 2 months marketing, especially if it's a pre-order drop, because with pre-order, you need somebody to buy the products. You can't just have products in your mind with nobody to buy. You have to have somebody to buy your products. With that being said, make sure that you do a good amount of marketing. Make sure that you're at least known on Instagram or TikTok, or start a YouTube channel. Exactly what I'm doing for my brand. So yeah, now you got a brand with less than $200. I just gave you the format to literally creating a brand with literally less than $200. We still got some bread left over. So, feel me? You don't need to have 3,000, 4,000, 5 bands to start a brand. You really don't even need that much. You just have to have a good mission, a good vision, and play your cards right. As simple as that. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I got another video too. This all the boring stuff, so you ain't got to stay if you don't want to. You can click off. But before you click off, at least, feel me, like the video. Like, I really did just put y'all on game, because I made these mistakes. I'm putting y'all on game. So, like I said, business relationships. Feel what I'm saying? Exactly. But yeah, I got 2 other channels too. It's Truth on the Way 2, Truth on the Way Archives. I talk about motivational stuff on Truth on the Way 2, and I just do vlogs on Truth on the Way Archives. So y'all tap in with that. Like, comment, subscribe. HWPO Ent, we always lit, and make your brand great. Let's go.